What is going on, everybody? Shooby Dooby here, back with another video. As we all know, Misfits 007 is happening on May 13th. So for today's video, I wanted to give you guys my predictions for each fight and give you guys my thoughts on how I think each fight is going to go down. Let's go. Damn, bro, I got a little bit of a nosebleed in the middle of the recording. Ignore this shit. I want a time crunch today. Misfits 007 is a little different. Happy Punch actually has 4 prelims on this card. We're getting 4 fights streamed for free on YouTube before the pay-per-view starts, which is pretty cool. Shout out to Happy Punch and shout out to Keemstar for putting these 4 fights on the card. For the undercard and the prelims, I really don't know much about each influencer. So that being said, I can't really give you guys an honest prediction on them. There wasn't really much boxing footage I could find out there. I'll just go through them really quick. For the Korn versus Unbar fight, I think Korn is going to win. I think Korn has more training because Unbar is a last minute replacement. Nestor versus Archie. I know Archie's been boxing for a while with his dad. I think Nestor has a couple amateur fights. I'm gonna go with Archie. Zuckles versus the mystery opponent, I have no idea. I'll go with Zuckles. So with Wings of Redemption and Boogie, I think we should all give them respect for even stepping in the ring. It takes a lot to do that. And if this actually happens, shout out to both men for doing something that they've never done before and challenging themselves physically. You know, they're heavier guys, so if the training they're doing is making them become healthier, that's all that matters. I saw clips of both of them hitting the pads and bag, and if I had to pick, I think Wings of Redemption is going to win. Alright guys, so moving into the main card, we have Varus versus DK Money. Varus is a Spanish influencer who has had a couple of influencer boxing matches against other Spanish influencers, and they get a lot of views, so shout out to him. I saw his fight. I think they were using bigger gloves and headgear, but looks like Varus has some power, man, and can really put together some combinations. DK Money, we all know, he fought against King Kenny, and King Kenny knocked him out in the first round. I think Varus is going to stop or knock out DK Money in round 3. Alright guys, for the next fight, we got Salt PAPI versus Anthony Taylor, and I'm sure you guys have heard. If not, yesterday on Twitter, it got announced that Salt PAPI versus Anthony Taylor will only be 3 rounds. I'm not gonna lie, it is very disappointing, but I understand why it is only 3 rounds. So for those of you who don't know, Salt PAPI was originally supposed to fight an opponent who wasn't as tough as Anthony. That opponent got hurt or dropped out for whatever reason. As we all know, Anthony Taylor stepped up to the plate last minute, so Salt PAPI is taking on a tougher challenge with a shorter notice. And the thing, from what I'm understanding, is the budget of Misfits 007 was already spent. So Salt PAPI isn't getting paid more to fight a tougher guy in Anthony Taylor. He's getting paid the same amount he was getting paid to fight a weaker opponent. All that being said, Salt PAPI's coming back from the Philippines. He's a little bit out of shape. He even admits it. So they ended up negotiating for 3 rounds instead of 4. Yeah, with a 3-round fight instead of 4, this does favor Salt PAPI more, in my opinion. The way I see this fight going is Salt PAPI is going to rely on counterpunching Anthony Taylor. He's going to be fighting off the back foot a little bit more and kind of piecing up Anthony Taylor when Anthony Taylor is trying to come into range. I think Anthony Taylor's just going to be explosive in there. He's going to come towards Salt PAPI constantly. I don't think Salt PAPI's going to let Anthony Taylor come in and work on the inside, because I believe that is Anthony Taylor's only path to victory. AT could win this fight by getting inside Salt PAPI, eating the counter punches, working the inside, and then working the clinch, but I don't think that's going to happen. So my official prediction for this fight, I think Salt PAPI is going to win in a decision. I think the fight will go all 3 rounds because the fight is so short, but I think Salt PAPI's just going to outland Anthony Taylor, and he's not going to let him get close to him. So my prediction, I think Salt PAPI will win by unanimous decision. Moving on to the co-main event, we have Deji the Tank versus SWARMZ the Madman. Battle of the memes. Nah, listen, respect to both of these guys. They're both coming off wins. Deji beat Fuzi, SWARMZ beat Ryan Taylor. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, a lot of people online think this fight is going to be easy for Deji, and I have to disagree. It all depends on the type of Deji we get. If we get a Deji that comes in with serious cardio, serious mindset, I think he will be able to stop SWARMZ in the 3rd round. But you never know. If Deji isn't training as hard as SWARMZ is, listen, we all know SWARMZ is training his ass off. You can see with the body transformation. I think SWARMZ could keep it competitive and it could go to a decision. I'm not saying SWARMZ is going to win. I think Deji would still be favored in a decision, but you never know. SWARMZ could pull off an upset here. Didn't really get to see much of SWARMZ against Ryan Taylor because of Ryan Taylor's injury. So SWARMZ could come out here and surprise all of us. For my official prediction, I got Deji winning, and I'll say he wins by unanimous decision as well. Finally, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, the main event, KSI versus Joe Fournier. I would say Joe Fournier is definitely KSI's toughest opponent to date. Joe Fournier is 9-0. He's 9-0 professional boxer. Someone who's training boxing for that long, you can't discredit them. I know his record is a little bit suspect. This still is a good test. It's the right next step for KSI. Joe is a little bit older. Joe has a lot going on with his life, businesses, restaurants, nightclubs, whatever. I think the difference is KSI has been all in on boxing recently and Joe is not. I think KSI's power and explosiveness, I think he's going to be able to catch Joe. Joe may be underestimating KSI's abilities. No matter how it gets done, I do think KSI will win this fight, but if I had to predict, I think KSI would stop Joe by round 3. So that is going to do it, guys, for my Misfits 007 predictions. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with me down in the comments section below. More YouTube boxing content to come, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care, everybody.
It rains, panties from heaven.